Hello, everyone, and welcome to Our Ventura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. On today's show, we're welcoming Nan Young. She is the Executive Director of ARTREC, which is here in Ventura County. It's a nonprofit organization, and we're going to hope to tell you a little bit more about that. Thank you so much for joining us, Nan.
Thank you very much for including me today.
Great. We'd like to hear a little bit more about the ARTREC organization, how it got started, and your involvement in that, and what you do for so many here in Ventura County.
Well, gosh, when you say what we do in Ventura County, it's had such a huge change recently over the last year
Right.
to the pandemic. But I'll go back to the beginning, and that is ARTREC started as a classroom project in my children's elementary school. My kids are in their 30s now, so if you do the math, you'll know I started a long time ago. Bringing art into a school that didn't have an arts program. So it has grown exponentially, and as of 2021, we have about 150,000 participants in our program between Long Beach, Santa Barbara, as far east as like La Mirada, Palm. So we cover an enormous part of Southern California. We have 450 volunteers. We have a general staff of about 24, currently a small staff of 9. So we've continued to bring the arts, some writing, some drama, mostly the visual arts, to groups all over Southern California. And it really grew out of a grassroots love for expression, the arts, community, and continues to grow. We now own a building that was donated to us. And we have become an integral part, I think, of the Ventura County community and in California. I'm really proud.
Terrific. I see you have 2 friends that are side by side of you, and they are such beautiful silhouettes of rabbits. So we want to talk a little bit about them because they are the star of the show here too. It's called the Conejo Cottontail Project.
Correct.
And I would like you to tell us about that, which is a very special part of what you do at ARTREC.
Well, we're now in our 5th year of a partnership with the Arts Council of Conejo Valley to bring these 5-foot sculptures to the community. So these are amazing pieces of public art. And actually they're our first of what we hope will be a very significant public art project with a great big future for other types of art. But these are fiberglass, and they come to us white from Chicago, actually. Local artists then paint or mosaic tile these rabbits, and they're purchased by groups or individuals, and mostly they're then presented to nonprofits to be publicly viewed by our community. They're an incredible resource for us in terms of raising money for programs that are underfunded. So the money, after paying for the rabbits and paying for the artists, and the artists really just get an honorarium, we have been able to finance programs for senior concerns, for youth with autism, for cancer support community, just as the beginning for many mansions, with the money that comes from these public and amazing projects. So I have one here that's painted, and actually painted by the woman who sculpted the original maquette, named Kate Hartenstein. And here we have a rabbit that took 3 years by Melissa Grossman, and it has 10,000 pieces of glass in it that are so smooth it feels like a painting. And this is on its way to Los Robles Hospital.
How nice.
Our peace rabbit lives with us.
How nice. And now these rabbits, they do move around, because I understand that sometimes they're available, you see them at festivals and things like that around town.
So they do hop about. CRPD does take its rabbit called Parker, of course, to all kinds of festivals and park events. And families love to gather around the rabbits and have their pictures taken. And then they send the pictures to us, or they send them to CRPD or the Acorn. So people love to gather and sort of climb on them and move around them. So they do show up in different places. Mostly they're stabiles, they're just stationary. But a few of them travel around, and it's fun to see.
It is. They look quite large.
They're over 5 feet, and when they're on a kind of base, they're like 5.5 to 6 feet, and they weigh like 80 pounds. Only this one now, with 10,000 pieces of glass, weighs like 150 pounds.
Sure.
This is a very
Wow.
healthy rabbit.
Very, very nice.
There are over 20 of them out and about.
So we'd like to hear a little bit more now about art in the community and why it's so important. Basically, art is free, but we still want, we would like to have future generations certainly enjoy more art to come. So tell me about your feelings about art in the community.
Well, I'll start. I believe that art belongs in the classroom in so many ways. I believe it belongs in the schools, and I believe it belongs where families can go and individuals can go. And it really public art transforms our plazas wherever we are publicly. And it's designed, these are really designed to be whimsical, but public art has us thinking and feeling, and it provokes us, or it soothes us, or it inspires us. And it costs nothing. You can wander around a community. And I think communities that invest in public art are investing in the soul of the individuals who live in the community. And our eyes, it's like eye candy for our eyes to see all kinds of art. And we don't have to love each individual piece, but they provoke dialogue and they provoke some interest in our streets and our stores. And I think they provoke conversation. And in today's world, all of that is really important. I think they have an impact, the way they unite people, these sculptures, or any.
Absolutely.
It has an impact on your community. So we are hoping that this is the beginning of a big project for our beautiful community here in Ventura.
Very good. I know that much of the money that is raised, especially from these rabbits here, from the Conejo Art Project, much of that money goes back into many programs that you do. And I'd like to hear more about that. And if you could tell viewers a little bit more about those projects and how important they are.
So I believe very strongly that art is healing for people, just the doing of the art and the seeing of the art and hearing of, music, all of that. Really, I can't say one weighs more heavily than another. So when an individual purchases one of these, and you're all welcome to purchase one, and there are groups that gather together, pool their money and purchase them for other nonprofits.
Okay.
When one is purchased, $2,500 of this, to be exact, goes to the rabbit itself, goes to the fiberglass piece for the paints, or the materials, the shipping, etc. $2,500 of it goes back into programming, and I think that's a lot.
It is.
So we have been doing programs. We've been bringing art to the memory senior concerns for almost 4 years now. We've been bringing art to many mansions, safe passage, to schools that have no funding, small private schools that are really actually in the poor communities of Los Angeles actually have received some funding even from our Conejo rabbits. We have basically never turned down a group that's high in need. We do vet the groups carefully. But the money then is returned to our communities so that they too can experience some arts education, some arts expression, some sort of that freeing, spirited soulfulness that comes with whether it's writing poetry, drawing, painting, reading a script together. There are many, many things we do with this in programming.
Yes.
We're available.
That's wonderful. And it's great that you can return and give back so much to the community for so many schools and places and different other organizations that can benefit from that. It's very important for everybody.
Over the last year, I may just add here, over the last year, with Safe Passage has received a tremendous number of art projects and tons of material from us. And I attribute much of that to the funding we have from the Conejo Cottontails.
Very good. I would like you to give our viewers your website so they could get more information about all that you do. And perhaps if they'd like to volunteer or donate, that will give them an opportunity to do so. Absolutely.
So info@arttrek.org, info@arttrek.org is ArtTrek. If you want to go straight to the Conejo Cottontails, you can go conejopublicart.org. But you can also get to the Cottontails through ArtTrek, and you'll learn a lot about us and maybe become part of our community here. We have space for volunteers.
Okay. And very good. Well, you're doing some very, very important things for the art community, and we'd like to see more of that in the future. So that's wonderful. And I would like to thank you, Nan Young, from Art Trek, a nonprofit organization here in Ventura County. We are very pleased to hear more about the Cottontail project as well. So we'll be looking for those around town.
We thank you. And
Very
I
good.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gotcha.